Good afternoon. We are at the Addington property. We're going to be completing a repairability test. Be on this back slope, which is east. We got this damaged shingle that we'll do the repair test on. See how it affects all of those surrounding shingles. You can see all of those surrounding shingles are still all sealed down. And then I'll give you an overview of all of those surrounding shingles before we get started. Showing you the current condition. Once we're all finished, we'll take another look, see those results. For my tools, I'll be using a flat bar, putty knife, hammer, and roof snake. And we have this 45-degree angle tool that we'll use to give us a reference point for what 45 degrees looks like. Slide it underneath that damaged shingle. I'll give you some views of that. So we can see what 45 degrees looks like on this roof. And throughout the repairability test, we'll do our best to not lift those shingles any higher than 45 degrees. All right, we'll get started. Start by getting all of these shingles unsealed. We'll use the putty knife to unseal the top shingle. And we'll use a flat bar to unseal the rest of those shingles. See if there's any differences with those two different tools. Now we'll start removing these nails. Get the camera up real close here. For a second, we can actually hear the matting on these tabs tearing as we're lifting them. So I want to get the camera up close here, see if we can hear that on the camera. So I have not lifted this tab yet, but I'll start slowly lifting it. We'll see if we can hear that tearing on the camera. Right about 45 degrees right there. Can hear a little bit of tearing on that one. I'm going to continue with the repair test though. All right, we got all of those nails out of that damaged shingle. Got that damaged shingle removed. We'll slide this new shingle in, get it all lined up nicely. Start getting some nails in there now. We'll be using the roof snake for that. now complete with the repairability test. Show you guys the results here. Give you another overview of all of those surrounding shingles. And we'll take a closer look at these tabs right above the new shingle. You can notice some stress fractures along these tabs where the matting on the shingle broke. So with those stress fractures, that'll be damaging the integrity of those shingles, also affecting its water shedding capabilities. You can feel where the shingles are much weaker in the areas with the stress fractures. So that'll not allow that shingle to do what it's designed to do as best as it should. With the matting being the main component for the water shedding, those capabilities will be worsened. Take a look at any mat transfer. Looks like we can see quite a bit. Got a real big chunk of mat right there that looks like it was torn off, stuck to the bottom of that tab. And we can see a bunch of other smaller pieces of matting that were transferred from the bottom of that tab. We can see where that left a bunch of exposed fiberglass. We can see some right there. More mat transfer along this one. Got this one as well with some exposed fiberglass due to that mat transfer. You can see some on the edge right there as well. Same thing all along here. See that? So all of that mat transfer, that'll also be damaging the integrity of those shingles as well. As we can see, chunks of matting that were torn off of those shingles. And then that'll also make it more difficult for those shingles to reseal properly once repairs have been made. We can see where those pieces were transferred from that tar line. So those shingles will have less surface area to seal down to. More mat transfer along this one. And more mat transfer along here. So we got mat transfer along every single one of those tabs that we were working with. And we used the putty knife to unseal this top row, and we used the flat bar to unseal this one. And we can see mat transfer along both of those rows, pretty significant mat transfer. So either tool that is used, looks like mat transfer is going to be impossible to get around. So with those damages, the stress fractures, mat transfer, I do not believe repairs are feasible to this roof, as with those damages, those shingles are left in a condition where there may be some possible water intrusion, leak hazards, and so if repairs were completed, you can see the wind damage is pretty widespread. We got one right there, one right there, there. It's all over this back slope. So if repairs were made, then we can see the condition that all of the surrounding shingles around those wind damaged shingles will be left in. They'll be left in a condition looking like this. We'll have up to at least 3 additionally damaged shingles for every one of those wind damaged shingles repaired. And so if repairs were completed, this insured would have potential leak hazards all over their roof, looking like this. 3 additionally damaged shingle for every one repaired, leaving this insured with more damage than they had pre-loss. And that would not be indemnification, leaving them with more damage than they previously had. So I do not believe the roof is repairable. I'll go ahead and chalk up all of those damages and get some better pictures of those. Thank you for your time.